Yep, hi there, it's the great and glorious, hopefully soon to be famous one day, if I'm very lucky, Nick Dutch yet again. Firstly, please forgive me, I've got a terrible head cold and I probably sound terrible. Just bear with me on that. I'm responding to a request from one of my viewers to do a video on talismans. Talismans are objects, either physical or imaginary, which have been imbued either psychologically or allegedly supernaturally with a real or imagined power. A talisman can be of any dimensions, including that of a building or a monument. An example of a talisman in popular British culture would be Nelson's column, which is an object which is physically manufactured or carved and crafted, which has a certain character and attributes of a mythical nature attributed to it, in this case Lord Nelson, and is related to other specific meanings such as military victory and the success of the British nation during a certain time a couple of hundred years ago, when there was a bit of a disagreement between the British and the French, and so on and so forth. It is still a talisman in the fact that it is an object which has been imbued with meaning through historical writings, knowledge of a character and personality. From an occult point of view, from a supernaturalist point of view, a talisman does not even have to be physical. It can be visualized, it can be imagined, using a symbol or symbology which means something to the operator. The operator, in this case, meaning yourself as the magician. Within contemporary neo-paganism, connected with, for instance, runecraft, the visualization of a runic symbol which has a particular meaning can be used as a talisman. Whether any form of talisman has any effect or not is not within the scope of this particular video. As I've already pointed out, magic is about experimentation, and it is a very experiential subject. Other types of talismans which can be created, most commonly within the practices of either a modern-day magician, a chaos magician, a Wiccan, a pagan sorcerer, and all the rest of it, would normally be something which can be carried, put in a pocket, a leather pouch, or possibly even buried on your premises, for instance, to protect your premises against real or alleged attack. The type of symbolism used in any talisman depends upon the theology or mythology which you are taking your knowledge and your spirituality from. For instance, in the numerological aspects of Kabbalah, you may use numerical squares, you may use symbols, as I've mentioned in my video on demonology, namely taking a square of numbers, each number having a meaning, joining them up to create a pattern. Then that pattern itself becomes the spirit, the essence, the meaning that you wish to imbue the talisman with. These talismans can either be created physically or in terms of the imagination and just left the way they are, or you can add a religious ceremony for consecration of the various objects and items that you're using for your talismanic work as well. If you are operating using bioplasma and visualization of energy, you may wish to visualize the balls of energy entering into the talisman at sufficiently dramatic moments when you're using certain words, certain thoughts, feelings and ideas to communicate the function of the talisman to the talisman itself. The talisman can be treated supernaturally as a separate entity. You can talk to it, you can pray at it, you can pray with it, you can bless it, and when you're creating it, you are trying to define, using language, mythology, symbolism and all the rest of it, the function and the methods by which that particular talisman operates. Examples of talismans used in love magic, for instance, could be written on parchment and placed under the pillow or under the front doorstep of the lover you wish to beguile, or could be incorporated in a gift that you wish to provide to the lover of your dreams. If you wanted to make your lover really happy, you could get some rose quartz, for instance, bless it and imbue it with the energies of love and passion, visualizing the right colored light which seems to have the right meaning going into the talisman and thus operating. You can also either create your own words of power or mantras through a chaos magic sigillation technique, or you can take them from the mythologies that you're using. For instance, Freya, being a deity of the earth, nature, love, fertility, could be used in a chant, and the energy of Freya could then be given via the action of consecration to the talisman itself, so that it can then bring you in theory, the lover of your dreams. When you're choosing the materials that a talisman should be made from, you will have to have a close look at the meanings or alleged meanings that the various metals, stones, woods, inks, parchments, and all the rest of it can be used to try and create that whole feeling. For instance, a talisman of the energies of Saturn could be made out of lead, because the energy of Saturn is supposed to be very instructive, informative. Lead is used in pencils, or it used to be, so you can always say that something made of lead is a tool for instruction. And also another symbolism of Saturn, for instance, is that of death. Lead is used to line coffins, and also if you're buried under lead, you're not going to be able to get up again. Alright? So there is a wide variety of supernatural energies associated with lead in this particular case. You can then choose through astrology, runecraft, or any particular school of thought that you're using, and to write or draw or cast or carve symbols into the leaden object to give it more instruction as to what it can do. Alright? Different schools of thought use different symbols and materials, and believe that different materials have different forms and qualities of function when performing or distributing the bioplasmic or spiritual or orgone energy to the receiver. Some people would even say that the talisman acts as like a form of DNA code to create effects or create quantum changes in individuals or in places. I will leave that up to your experimentation to see what you can do with that. Again, whether it works or not is not the scope of this video. Go back to my other videos about whether magic works to go into that idea in greater detail. I look forward to speaking to you again soon.